What up, though? It's your girl, Tamara Dawn, and welcome to Tamara Till the Break of Dawn. Now, first things first, I want to thank y'all for hopping on my train of thought today, because you literally could be doing anything else right now, so I appreciate you tuning in. And before I get too far off into this intro, I definitely want to give a special shout out to my podcast fam. So make sure y'all actually check out them podcast suggestions in the episode note. Last but not least, want to give a special shout out to Sniper T for this beat, and all his information can be found in the episode notes as well. So, now that we got all that out the way, let's get it. Hey y'all, hey, what up though? Alright, what is this, August? So I've been doing this podcast thing since November, so however many months that is, 9 months? I don't know. But it's this interesting thing of where I'm at, because it's like, okay, so I have such support, such love, people answer questions, just all these things from the podcast community. That's why when I say I love the podcast community, I really do. But it's an interesting, I don't know, just an unrest that I have right now, because as I'm trying to, I'm working on stuff to kind of like build upon the foundation that I already have, and it started out this way in the beginning and it didn't bother me, but it bothers me more now. Nothing against the podcast family. Let me just put that out there right now. So like okay, let's back up. So I've mentioned on here before that, a lot of why I am the way I am, where I'm like, I'll retweet people's stuff. I'll just do whatever to try to support somebody within reason, of course, but review swaps, whatever, like the things that it's, as someone said to me recently, it's the politics of podcasting. But it's like, I get it. It's all a part of it. Cool. But the reason why I do all that, and it's like, it's not coming from a place of, I want you to do something for me. It's coming from a place of, I've had blogs before. That was my main thing, was writing. This is my first podcast. But I've had blogs before, and I would write and pour my heart and soul into whatever I was writing, because much like this show, it's just I'm just a person that's all about growth and whatever. Like, these are the conversations I have, with people or whatever, and I would do all that, and like, I wasn't on Twitter back then. I've had a Twitter forever, but I didn't really start using it until I started the podcast, because it just, I don't know, it doesn't matter. And so the only people that I had to try to promote my stuff to was the people I know, and like, nobody read it, nobody whatever. And it's just really interesting, because as I'm sitting here now and I'm looking at how much support and whatever I get from people that I literally have never met any of these people in real life. Like, I'm trying to think if there's a few people that I know, like, I guess if you want to say real life, that I was already following on Twitter, interact with. A couple of people, my little brother and sister, for example. But I have really just been wondering, like, I wonder if back then I would have been promoting to strangers who seem to appreciate and support you more than your people, like, would that stuff have taken off? And part of what made me branch out to Twitter and social media outside of Facebook, because as I've said before, Facebook is really like my people, because my kids are on there. So when I tag my kids and stuff, mind you, they're all 16, 18, and 20, but still, everybody don't need to know who my kids is. So, like, that's just, if I know you, then, you on my Facebook. And so it's just an interesting thing, and I don't know why I think it's bothering me right now, because when I get excited about stuff, like, and this literally has nothing to do with it, but hey, go ahead and get some merch though. But like, I just launched I don't even know if that's the right terminology, but whatever. I just launched the site Sunday, and I posted it on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Now, mind you, Facebook is, like I said, that's my people. That's the people you want to know support you. Then there's Instagram, where it's kind of a mix of my people and I don't even know. It's not even just all podcasters, because I've been on Instagram for a while. It's my personal Instagram, just like it's my personal Twitter, because I really ain't got time to be trying to run multiple social medias. And I think for me, since the show is about me, I feel like it just makes more sense for y'all to just interact with me. You know what I mean? And so there's Instagram, and then there's Twitter. Twitter, off tops, is always the most supportive place ever, because it's the whole world can see whatever. And so I always tell anybody that I know is starting up anything, I'm like, get you a Twitter, go on there, because trying to promote stuff to just your people, I don't know, and it sucks. But Twitter, man, so much love. Instagram, even there too. But Facebook, besides my daughter and two other friends, no one, and I'm not saying buy anything, I said share the post. Let somebody else see it. Because I don't buy everybody's stuff, or I don't listen to everybody's podcast, or I don't, but it literally takes and costs nothing. Let's go there. It costs nothing to share a post or retweet or whatever. And I don't know, I'm just annoyed with that right now. And I'm not in my feelings, but it's just my world. It just doesn't make sense to me right now that strangers, besides my kids, they're not ever in the equation, nor my actual family. But I don't know, man, because not the people that I actually text or whatever, but it's just weird. Facebook just, and I don't want to hear nothing about algorithms or none of that stuff, because it could be that, but I pay attention to what people pay attention to, and I pay attention to what people do when they comment and what they respond to. I peep all that. Even if I don't say nothing, I peep it, I make a mental note, and then I just kind of move a little differently to a degree. I don't act disrespectfully or rude to anybody, because that's just not how I want to interact with people. But I do just kind of have this mental note, okay, you don't really mess with me like that, or something, or I don't know. And it's just interesting. It's just an interesting thing. And then so I mentioned earlier, the politics of the craft, and I can't even take credit for that, actually. So we gonna sidebar, no, because I'll probably forget, and this is important. So this dude, I'm pretty sure his name is Spence. I'm gonna, the three other podcasters that I'm gonna kind of, it's not really a shout out, it's more mention. Anyways, you'll see. I'm gonna put their show info or whatever in the episode notes. But this dude Spence, one time, at least that's what his name says on Twitter. That's the thing, I don't be knowing these people like that. But he's from Views from the 7 podcast. And one of the things he said to me recently that has just, how people say stuff to you, and it's just for me, it's oh, that's the Lord. You could take it as whoever you want, but for me, it's oh, that's the Lord speaking, because there's no way you could know I needed to hear that. And one of the things he said is, don't let the politics of this craft, I want to say he said, get you jaded, something like that. And the thing about it is, why that was so on point is because, okay, so let's back up when I was why I retweet and why I do all this stuff. Like I said, it's because when I had, what did I have? Creative projects, I didn't get love, because you see analytics. So people could celebrate with you and all that stuff and like your posts and all that. But if nobody's reading your blog, it doesn't matter, because you're you're just doing whatever. And so that's why I do the retweets. That's why I do whatever. Most podcasters that follow me, I'll just follow them. Now, people who are not podcasters, it kind of, or some sort of content creator, it kind of depends on what you got on your page, because I get some of the most random, I mean, it's Twitter, you know what I mean? But most podcasters and content creators, etc., I follow. And, you know, because I'm being genuine about why I'm doing this, because I'm just now kind of learning a lot about, I like to call it the admin side of podcasting. The creative side, man, creative, that's what I live for. But, you know, the other side is necessary. I get it. But I'm just learning a lot. And so I just follow back. And then I'm in this retweet group, which is the thing. Because like I said, it's just such a supportive community. And basically the premise of the group is we all retweet each other's stuff. We all like each other's stuff, because like, you don't have to listen to somebody's podcast, but if you retweet it or whatever, one of your followers might want to do whatever. That is why I, for the most part, tweet when I listen to episodes, is not to get the attention of the podcaster. It's to bring attention to the podcaster, because somebody else might want to listen to it. And this girl, and I don't even know if it's a girl, I think it's a girl, I'm trying to remember, somebody in the podcast retweet group today was like, basically saying like, we're all family, there's room, that like, it doesn't need to be a competition. But then the politics of stuff, everybody don't think like that. But because I do, and sometimes I'm naive enough to think that people view it how I view it, because like, y'all are podcasters, sure, but y'all are people. So like, when I'm interacting with you on Twitter, or that's the main place, Instagram too, I'm interacting with you. I'm not I'm not a fan of anybody, like not even celebrities. I don't think of it like that. I think of it like, oh, this person is cool and I interact with you. But you know, everybody don't think like that. So I learned recently that people will follow you just to get their followers up and then unfollow you. And it's like, bro, I ain't your fan. Like, I don't even know you. I was trying to be supportive, and I don't know. So it's just that side of it. It is frustrating because relationships and such are super important to me. But what I got to remember is, I mean, this is different for everybody. Like for me, this is literally a creative outlet. It's therapeutic for me. That's why I'm recording right now, because I can't sleep, because all this is heavy on my mind. It's 1:00 in the morning. And so like, this is for me, but it's not like I'm someone who is like, I want to make it big as a podcaster and I want to not have to work. Because truth be told, I like having a 9 to 5 simply because I like the stability of every 2 weeks I know I'm getting paid. I had a job where it was kind of almost like I was contracted. That's when I was doing gang intervention. And if my client didn't show up, I didn't get paid. And it really messed me up financially, even messed up my credit. Like all kinds of things happened when I was in a job where it wasn't. And that was the only time in life I ever did that. And so I'm not going to say I would never, but that's not like the goal of why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I need a creative outlet. Like I need to be able to create something. I feel better when I do, you know what I mean? And when I don't, obviously I don't feel good. So, you know, but everybody's in this for different reasons. So I'm learning that, but I don't know. It's just back to what I was talking about at the beginning. I'm just really wrestling right now with, I just feel like nothing makes sense. Like I talk to certain podcasters and we ain't even talking about just on Twitter. I'm talking about we text, we have Zoom. I talk to them more than I talk to people that is supposed to be and I'm not saying they're not my friends, but there's supposed to be my friends for like forever. And it's just weird because I really feel like alone. Ooh, my bad. I'm with my kids every day, but it's a different relational dynamic with your kids, because they're not, I'm not going to say they're not your equals, like they're not a human being or whatever, but it's like, I'm the authority, so it's just different. If it's different. It's a different type of relationship. So I don't know. This is what I'm kind of struggling with, but and then it's just crazy because, like I said, Spence, which I hope that's that man's name. I'm pretty sure that's what his handle is, but said that, and then it's like a couple other podcasters that I want to shout out just because, to be honest, and it's something I've been thinking about, like all the people that I'm cool with and all that I met earlier on in this journey, I really don't even know where they came from. I really don't even know how I met them. Like, yeah, I know it was Twitter, but I'm saying, like, how did I find you? How did I come across you? Like, I don't even remember anymore. It's just all meshed together, especially with the 2020 bull that we all been dealing with. So it's like, I always call him OG Mike from Off the Record podcast. I feel like if that wasn't the first podcaster I met, that is the second podcaster I met. But I'm pretty sure that was like the first podcaster I met on Twitter. And it's just really interesting because I'm pretty sure, I know he's younger than me, but he just gives me them like big homie vibes. And so that's why I call him OG Mike. And man, just solid, just like supportive of, though, everybody in the podcast community. But it's kind of like I've learned a lot about what it means to support people in this world, because that means retweeting, that means sometimes recommending people. It's like there's a lot that goes into this so that we could all grow together. So I've learned a lot about that from him. I'll reach out to him from time to time to ask him different questions, because it's like he's been doing this longer than me. Also, so has Alex, who's part of his group. So, and then this dude, D Murph, which I don't even know if I ever said on here that he had me on his show whenever that was. It seems like a lifetime ago, and I just remember, first of all, being like, okay, well, who is this person? But I was like, okay, I listened. He really has a show, so this is legit. And I could say all this because I said all this to him, the day we recorded, because it's like this world was new to me. So it's kind of like, who are these strangers and what is happening right now? You know what I mean? And now it's like, I couldn't imagine life without a lot of these people. But it's something that, and it's something little we were talking about, but I don't know, it's just really stuck with me. Something with my old intro where we were just talking about like how he does his and what I was going on with mine. And it's just like that advice, that guidance, that whatever. And then the other person is, his show is BTG for President, but Baylor, man, listen, this dude be coming out of nowhere. Like, I'll be thinking something, and like I said, it's like the Lord speaking to you, and like the timing, he'll just tweet at me and it'll be like exactly what I needed to hear in that moment. Like, why are you in my business type stuff, but it's stuff I need to hear and I appreciate it. Now, these are all dudes that I met. These are other podcasters. You notice I didn't mention nobody I know that I didn't. Well, I can't even say that. Well, I will say that because other people, like I only got like one other friend who I really talk to about podcasting and like tell him like every little milestone and every little whatever, I guess because he'll listen, because I know that when I'm excited about something, I want to talk about it, but that doesn't mean people want to hear about it, you know what I mean? But he'll listen, he'll celebrate with me every little thing. But besides that, it's kind of like all them people I mentioned, I ain't never met none of them people in real life. And it ain't like any of them people is trying to come at me on no funny stuff. I know for sure 3 out of the 4 of them are married. I'm not sure about the other dude. Spence, but he ain't ever coming. So it's not like they coming at you weird. It's just people genuinely in this community really care and really want to see everyone grow. Like, I know everyone's not like that, but I know the people that I'm cool with, you know what I mean? It's genuine, you know what I mean? Like, they're doing their show, but they're not saying, oh, F everybody else, listen to me. Because, like I always say, nobody listens to one podcast. Like, not no true podcast listener, because people go on breaks, people, all kinds of things happen, and it's 7 days a week, 24 hours in a day. We'll say take off 8 if you sleep 8 hours, which I don't, but it's whatever. So it's kind of like nobody listens to one podcast, so we understand there's room for all of us, and you celebrate, and I'd be happy to see people have victories and this, that, and the other. And like in the retweet groups I be in, like we share information and all this stuff, and it's cool and it's beautiful, and I feel so supported and whatever. And then when I step outside of Twitter, not my kids and not like my mom, when I step outside of Twitter and then I'll be on Facebook, because it just, I don't know, it just kind of makes me sad, because it seems like if I'm not being funny, people don't really, maybe some of the encouraging stuff I post too, I guess, but it's just different. And it's like, man, when I post podcast stuff, like, Facebook is trash for trying to promote your stuff. I don't, like, I promote it because it's like, some of my people might want to hear, you know what I mean? Some of my people might want to buy something, I don't know, but Facebook is trash for trying to promote, network, whatever. But I take it a little bit more, it's just weird. I'm not going to say I take it personally, but I guess that's probably what I need to just go ahead and say, because it's like, these be my people. And like, some of these people, if they got a some people, and this is why I have like fell back from a lot of people, because way before podcasting, what I kind of started noticing is that, so, you know, I've talked about my daughter's dad was killed 5 years ago. And so what I noticed is then it started this domino effect of so many negative things that me and my family had to walk through. And then it's like, I was always the person that was like the go-to person, even if it's just to vent, because I genuinely do care about people. I genuinely do want people to be okay and whatnot. But then I just reached this point where I couldn't, because if I try to make the conversation about me, somehow they'll turn it into about them. And it's like, yes, this is just we'll just use this example. It'd be like me talking about how my daughter's their dad was killed. Like, he ain't coming back. You know what I mean? Like, my bio dad, y'all already know what it is y'all already know what it is with him. I'm not making no effort, none of that. But he could, if he choose to, he probably won't, but he could try to come back around. He could. He's not dead. The girl's dad is gone. So when people try to compare that, they understand what I'm going through grieving, no, the hell you don't. Like, people have and I've talked to y'all a little bit about what it was like just grieving and raising grieving children. But I'm sorry, your deadbeat baby daddy ain't the same, because he could, you know, change and turn around or whatever. So stuff like that. And I don't know. And so it made me start falling back from people a little bit. Not like, it just made me not reach out. So then if I don't reach out, what I notice is a lot of times people don't reach out. And it's just weird, because the people who do, I'm struggling. The people who do reach out, it ain't even the people that I would think are supposed to reach out. Like, if I don't tweet all day, I don't even know where this lady came from. I think she's a podcaster. She tweeted at me like, you good? Because people know I be on the Twitter, because I love it. It's so much pettiness and so much whatever. And I'm here for it. Like, I love it. But you know what I mean? I don't know. It's just weird, and that's what I am kind of wrestling right now, because it just feels like my worlds feel so separate. And it's like, I guess when people are used to how you are or whatever, I guess I don't want to say they take it for granted, or I don't know. I don't even know what I'm feeling, what I'm whatever. But I think when they're used to how you are, because like me, when I be the encouraging stuff, I've been on that. I do post stuff on Facebook, the petty stuff that to make people laugh. I've been on that. It's a little bit less filtered ever since I turned. Nah, I ain't even gonna say ever since I turned 40. Ever since the Rona came, because that's when I just started like, you know what? Y'all gonna get these jokes. Y'all gonna get all this little sick humor. And it just is what it is. Laugh or delete me. I don't care. This is an app. You know what I mean? But it's one thing for it to be an app, going back to Facebook, and people maybe don't interact with stuff, whatever. Even though it just makes no sense to me. Because if I was to post foolishness, people hop on that. But it's a different thing when you don't really talk to people in real life, and when people either only reach out to you to be nosy, or if you don't reach out to them, you might not hear from them. It's just a little different. It hits different when it's supposed to be your people. And then what also irritates me, but again, I peep game and I don't say nothing, is when people fake F with you, where they make it seem like on an app that it's whatever, but you know in real life, you don't hit my line. You know what I mean? You don't text me. You don't call me. So why are you trying to front on this app? But I'm going to let you have that. I'm not going to, come for you. I'm not going to do all that, because it's an app. And if you like it, I love it. You know what I mean? But I see it. And that's the whole point, is that I think I've maybe said before, or maybe not, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know what I say on this. And it's funny because sometimes some of my friends will text me about stuff from the episode, and I'm like, I said that, because I don't even remember, because it's all just me pouring out whatever usually. But lost my train of thought on where I was, so that's where I'm at. You know what I mean? It's weird. Like it's not like I'm struggling, but I just feel really restless and really, I'm tired of the Rona for sure, but it's beyond that. It's just this unrest that I feel. And then there's also me noticing, it just makes me like I love the support and I love the community. I love it, but it just makes me sad that it's like that same energy, not even a fraction of that energy, comes from, the people that you will want it to come from. And so this is where I guess my challenge to myself and y'all, if y'all are, disappointed in something that's going on in your life and not going the way you want it to go or whatever, or the way you thought it should go, or the way whatever, my encouragement is just to find gratitude and look at the bright spots. And I don't want to say count your blessings to sound cliche, but that's what it is. And so, podcast fam who listens, those are like most of my listeners. But I appreciate y'all when I say that, like, now that I've given you, I guess, some more insight. I appreciate y'all for real, because like I said, I talked to people that I met. I don't even like calling certain people my podcaster friends, because I just feel like those are just my friends. But then when I'm trying to explain them, like to not my kids, because they know who I be doing Zoom calls and stuff with. But when I try to mention them to other people, I will say that so they can understand where I met them, I guess. But I feel like that almost, minimizes just the value that they have in my life. You know what I mean? So I definitely want to give a special shout out. I'm going to put all these people's show in the episode notes, but Audrey, Chris, Autumn, and Jay, because like I talk to them a lot. But also what I appreciate about them is they inspire me to grow. You know what I mean? They've all been doing this longer than me, and they'll help me with whatever I have questions with or whatever. So it's like when I be saying like I appreciate y'all, when I be saying I appreciate y'all, and when I be tweeting stuff like that, like I'm not saying that, and I feel like people probably know I'm genuine, but I'm saying that because like I really mean that. But then sometimes I'm saying that to remind myself to be grateful for the people that do rock with me, because I did tweet this not too long ago where I said it don't matter who don't rock with you as long as the people who do are solid, because it could be easy for me to be jaded by, and I remember I was super jaded when it came to friendships a year ago, longer than a year ago maybe, but for sure a year ago. And so that's what made it where when I first came into the community, that's what made me I was super guarded, because I didn't understand, and I wasn't about to put my trust in some people that I don't know, because look, I've told you some of the stuff the people do, whatever I'm trying to say. I've told you stuff. But man, I'm glad that one thing I'm glad about, and this is my challenge too, is, and I used to say this a lot, don't let me get this right. Like, don't let how other people, I guess, mistreat you, for lack of a better word, bruh. I promise y'all I'm sober right now. Maybe it's because it's late and I'm tired. And this is my third. Okay. Let's go on a bunny trail for a second and hopefully... Okay, let me get the thought out first. Don't let the way people mistreat you cause you to shift how you move. Like, yes, sometimes you have to... how did he say it? Baylor tweeted something like, love people differently or something like that, which it's hard to do that because y'all see how I am. That's how I want to be. But then if I got to be different, because sometimes you do have to be different, but like it needs to come from a place of it's what's best for you in a healthy way, not you're operating out of hurt, if that makes sense. So, see, hold on, because I want to merch. Yeah, okay, let's talk about that process. So, I had 2 all-nighters, basically, which I am way too old to be up all night. But the first night I was up all night. Oh my gosh. I created whatever, and see, my problem, and I don't know if it's a problem, I like to say it's just all part of the journey and all part of the creative process. But a lot of times I just dive into stuff and try to figure it out as I go. Now, I did do a little bit of research before trying to figure out how to create merchandise, but probably not enough. So like I created this whole thing and then realized it wasn't how it needed to be for me to get what I needed to get. So I had stayed up all night for nothing the first night. I mean, I won't say for nothing, because nothing is wasted and you learn from everything if you're trying to, you know what I mean? So I definitely learned, and it made it quick when I actually got everything how I wanted it to be. But what I learned about myself in that is it's either one or two ways I could look at it. I could either look at it as I'm the kind of person that needs to have something that I work through and figure out. Like, the process is important to me because I did feel super accomplished once I figured it out and launched it and all that. So I could say that, or we could say maybe I need to like do a little bit more research before I dive into certain things. But I don't know though, because I like to figure out stuff for myself. And then it's crazy. as a solo podcaster because I literally do everything myself. Plus, I work full time. Plus, I'm a mom and whatnot. So I've had to become way more disciplined with my time. I've had to start writing stuff down so I don't forget and just become more organized. And I've also have to be more protective of my time. My phone be on do not disturb a lot because I'm working on a lot of stuff right now because I figure I need to do as much as I can while I can because I'm working from home. I don't know when I'm going back to the office, but by the time I get there, I want to have certain things in place or whatever. And so those are the two things I kind of noticed throughout that. But they both can be true just depending on the situation because, yeah, probably in some scenarios, I do need to do a little bit more research and like have stuff mapped out before I start. But then for some stuff, I need that creative mess, and turn it into a masterpiece. So I don't know, but that is what I got for y'all today. So, make sure that you stay true to you. If you are a loving person, man, don't let people get you jaded. Sometimes you got to go outside of your comfort zone. You got to go outside of your whatever to get what you need to get. So like I was saying, if I would have just stayed with Facebook and tried to really only promote on Facebook, y'all probably wouldn't even be hearing this podcast because I probably would have gave up because, yeah, I probably would have gave up. But that's the cool thing about the failed projects I had before. That's why I'm not a person who, I don't really look at anything as a loss. It's a lesson. Somebody tweeted earlier today and was like, when did you want to get married or when did you get married? So I got married at 25 and then I put divorce at 27. And then he replied to my retweet and was like, did you regret anything? And I'm like, nah, I don't have regrets. I just learn from it and keep it pushing. So, I'm hoping I'm not off track with what I was talking about before I went on that bunny trail. But, do what you got to do to stay true to you. Learn from stuff and whatnot. But don't let people get you jaded. Don't let people make you start moving different in a toxic way. Like the people who have a bad breakup and then be like, all men are dogs, all females or whatever. No, it's just that person. Or who knows, because we only know your side of the story. And you might have had some toxic traits too, because we really all got them. And so, but don't let people have you, go there, get jaded. Yeah, get out of toxic situations. Yeah, pay attention to what's going on and whatnot, but stay true to you. And if you got to move to different people, and I'm not saying necessarily move cities because I don't think that's always the answer because you take you wherever you go. So for some people, they do need to relocate. But for other people who relocate and keep having the same problems, and the common denominator, man, you might need to dig in within and kind of do what you got to do. But I'm going to go ahead and let y'all go because my brain is starting to feel tired. So maybe, I guess I had to get this out because it's like I was trying to go to sleep, had this just feeling, and I'm just like, my thoughts is whatever and whatever. So I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and record. It's it's a topic I'm kind of been not sitting on, but it's a episode I want to get out, but it's like, y'all know I can only give you what I got. So if what I got is this is what y'all gonna get, because I can't be fake. I can't like talk about something that whatever. So hopefully maybe on a good day I'll try to record this other episode just to have it whatever. But as always, I really, 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 really appreciate y'all listening. I really, really appreciate the feedback. I really, really appreciate not just the new listeners, but the people, because, it's funny, when I had my first episode, I had so many people listen, and these was all people I knew, because I didn't really know nobody else then. And then by the second episode, so they was probably just trying to see what I was going to be talking about. And then you drop off a whole bunch, like, I ain't had them numbers, you know what I mean? But that's okay, because I appreciate the people who are regulars, repeat, whatever, who come back, because it's like, you obviously are getting something for this, or you think I'm cool, or you like interacting with me on Twitter, or just whatever that makes you come back and listen to me pour out my life. And I love the people who resonate, like, I'm very transparent. I tell y'all, like, what I'm feeling, stuff that I probably wouldn't even necessarily tell people, but it's easy because it's just me. So that's how I could sit here and talk to you and tell you all whatever. But I appreciate the people, too, who whatever I say resonates with them, because that's why I do what I do. I sit here and I pour out all my hopes and dreams and fears and insecurities and all that, because like I used to always say in the beginning, and this is just what I firmly believe, is that a lot of times the biggest lie we believe is that we're the only one going through whatever, and though the external circumstances may be different, you know what I mean? But the underlying emotions and stuff, we all pretty much feel the same types of emotions, regardless of what caused it. And so that's why I do what I do, because when you feel like you're alone in this, in any situation, even good stuff, like I don't know. Yeah, it sucks. And so when I be saying I appreciate the podcast family, I really mean it, but I'm not going to go too far off into that, because I'm trying to end this thing. So as always, like I said, I was saying, I appreciate you tuning in. I really hope that, I know, man, times is crazy right now. So I really hope that you are doing what you got to do to take care of you, take care of your mental, physically. Oh, y'all, guess what? Your girl lost 31 point something pounds. Last time I gave y'all an actual number, it was 25, I think. And the cool thing about that is, what I know is when you're doing strength training, because that's what I do for the most part, you way heavier than what you look. So even though I've only lost 5 more pounds since the last whatever, or 6 or something, whatever, it's, it hits different when you whatever. So I thought but yeah, take care of your physical, spiritual. Y'all know that's important to me. So I've really been trying to like journal. I do read my Bible, have quiet time, prayer. To me, I talk to God a lot, so it's not like something that I need to just be like, oh, Father God. No, I'd be like, God, what is you doing? Or thank you for this, or just whatever, just regular conversation like I'm talking to y'all. Because if it's a relationship, I shouldn't have to come to you all, formal and whatnot. I don't come to my mom like, oh, mother, woman, or that sounds stupid. Exactly. And that's not, it's a relationship. So, all right, I'm about to get done rambling. So have a great rest of your day, week, be safe. It's so funny because I was thinking about the other day how I used to be all like, I love you. Y'all know I had to be in my feelings. And it's not like I don't love y'all, but yeah. But I love y'all. Be safe. And, get back at me next week. So first things first, shout out to Sniper T for this beat. And all his information can be found in the episode notes. Now, like I say on social media, I want y'all to interact with me. So here's a few ways you can do that, and the links and whatnot to all these methods are in the episode notes as well. Now, you can leave me a voicemail. call 720-457-4022. You can email me. Hey, y'all can follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, and I'll follow you back. And then you can go ahead and slide in the DMs, just not on no weird stuff. You can also like the Facebook page, and the link on there goes to my email as well. Now, what I need y'all to do is pay attention on my socials for when I ask for feedback for the Thoughts to Ponder episodes that air every other Monday, because the reality is that y'all feedback is what makes those episodes dope. So, leave me a voicemail, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or email me. Just holla at your girl.